President Obama's uncle under arrest. He is being held now by immigration officials. Police in Framingham say that he was driving drunk last week, nearly got into an accident with one of their own. 7's Jonathan Hall is in Framingham with the details for us tonight. John?
This arrest is going to make big news all across the globe. Framingham police saying Onyango Obama's blood alcohol level was 0.14%, almost twice the legal limit. And they claim he's an illegal alien.
They claim? It's 105 at WRKO. Good afternoon, Jennifer Brien with you. What day is it? Tuesday. Tuesday? Is today Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. My God. Good afternoon, Jennifer Brien with you until 3 p.m. today. Yeah, you know, isn't that interesting? That's from Channel 7, by the way. We have to credit Channel 7. Thank you for letting us know that this is going to make news all over the globe. Well, my question is, why didn't it? Why did it take? Howie talked about this story on Friday. Then we talked about the story yesterday. Of course, Howie talked about it for, I think, good part of his show. And then the papers run with the story. Then you know what? It's actually amusing. Howie talked about this first. As far as I know, he was the first one on Friday to mention this. And as the details came out, you know, obviously here at WRKO, we're going to talk about it. It's relevant. It's important. And it's a huge issue. That on the heels of this situation in Milford, and bless the family. Today they had to bury Matthew. And I wonder, by the way, I just wonder about this. Did the governor show up today? Did the governor go over there and say, illegal immigration, just really drive it home? Illegal immigration did not cause the death of this young boy. This was a drunk driver. Really, like sort of like Uncle Omar, Governor Patrick. Oh, you knew that we were going to talk about this again today. And one of the things that I wanted to ask, and I think it's pretty easy, by the way. If somebody knows, as far as I know, identity fraud is so huge in this country because we have such porous borders that all you have to do is find the right person and they can get you a social security number, or you can even make one up. You mean to tell me, guys, here's the thing about what's going on with Obama's uncle. Yes, if you don't know by now, really, seriously, where have you been? Obama's uncle was arrested and charged with DUI. He was busted over by the Chicken Bone Saloon. I got to get over there. I got to see what those eats are like over there. But I got to get over to Chicken Bone and listen to some music. And it's been this story. It was in the newspapers last Wednesday. Nobody picked up on this. Nobody. And you know what? The only thing that says to me, what is that Obama lied when he said, and I believe it was dreams of my father, that as far as he knew, his long lost Uncle Omar, he left for America, never to be seen again. Do you buy that crap? Because that's what it is. You know what? The president knew where his uncle was. There's no doubt. And you know why I say this? Because they buried the story. Nobody picked up on the story until they had to. Until there was that was it. There was no getting around it. Howie talked about it Friday, and unfortunately, I did not hear Howie's show on Friday. I was at my other job, but I was listening to Howie mention how he talked about it on Friday. And by the way, if you want to listen to old shows, you can certainly do that. Go to WRKO.com and check on the audio and video link, and all the shows are there. You can get all the podcasts, everything that we do, Howie does. My shows, Barry, everything is right there. So please check it out. It's all there if you want to listen. And, you're telling me that the president, just in dreams of my father, just had no idea all this time, Uncle Omar, just hanging out, him and Aunt Zatuni. Mm-hmm. By the way, Aunt Zatuni says this. Ooh, this is great. They call it, Aunt Zatuni, you have such you-know-what. And you know you're listening today. See, she'd never say she listens to a show like this, but they do. They do. Because they're look at the president, incredibly egotistical people. They think they can do and say and get away with everything. And then she goes on television. Remember she was talking about Donald Trump? What was she saying? She doesn't know why Donald Trump is filled with hatred or something, but, it's all about God and Aunt Zatuni. Really? You know what? If you were worried about God and doing the right things and not screwing over your friends that are trying to stay in this country, come here and do it the right way. Sometimes it takes 3, 4, 5, 6 years for families to get all of their family mass over here because they abide by laws. They believe in laws. They are decent people. They want to do things the right way. They don't want to put their children in jeopardy in the future. You, Ansatuni, with your God chat and your, you pray for people. It's just what I say to you. I'm sorry. Is that sophomoric? Perhaps. You can't have it both ways. You can't say I'm a great, decent soul and then break the laws, knowingly do so, suck off the system, and then arrogantly, "Oh, this is great." When they called their first statement, Ansatuni was asked, "Well, what do you think about your brother's arrest?" Yep, I quote, "Why don't you go to 1600 Pennsylvania Ave in Washington, D.C. and ask your president, not me?" Then she hung up. Nah. Dial tone. You know what, Ansatuni? For everything that you have been afforded, for all the opportunity and our tax dollars that have funded your lifestyle, your housing, your food, your clothes, your cable, everything that we've done for you, it would be nice if you wouldn't be so arrogant and sarcastic and maybe say something that has some substantive value. But no, this is part of this is a family. This is the family. My question, let's start here. Why do you think the media buried this story? Why do you think it's possible, as I do, that the media knew about this, guys? The media, see, this is what's so curious to me. The media had this story. It was circulated, and they say, oh, no, it wasn't. Yeah, Fox 25 and the Framingham Gazette. The Framingham Gazette. This story was out there. None of the major networks picked up this story until they had to, because somebody got marching orders that said, bury this if you can. If this isn't going to go anywhere, we're not going to make a huge deal about this. I really believe that. Do I know that to be true? Nope. But if you think they don't do that and censor their own, they pick and choose what they're going to put on the news every day. Of course they do. It's for entertainment value. They sit down, the news director, how they're going to run the show, what stories are going to be in the first tier, the second tier, the third tier in terms of importance, and then they rotate them as the day progresses. They know exactly what they're doing. Do you think it's possible that this story was buried because they were trying to protect the president because he knew where this guy was? They didn't want to go through a whole nother situation like they just did with Ansatuni, particularly on the heels of the death of Matthew Denice and his family, the burial today, the funeral that took place, and also, the stories that were just stories upon stories upon stories. A 4-year-old that was killed out on the West Coast. The governor, the ridiculous statement when he was asked at his presser about Irene. Illegal immigration didn't kill that person. All right? Okay? Why do you think this story was buried? And how is it possible that Uncle Omar was able to live the American dream? Do you think he was being protected? He had orders for deportation. There were orders issued for adios, goodbye, go back to Kenya. And they let him stay. It's almost like Whitey Bulger. They knew where he was. What is up with this? There is a reason why they were protecting or defending his anonymity in some way, just living amongst us. You think the president knew where he was and he lied in his memoir? I do. I certainly do. 617-266-6868, 877-469-4322. Why do you think news agencies buried this story? And I guess, and the other question is, do you think they had to, once this story started gaining some momentum, and you guys, the phones went nuts yesterday, all day. Do you think they had no choice, right? What would it look like if they didn't cover this story? What would it look like if they didn't cover this story? 6, do you think they even care? See, the thing is, if they're so arrogant enough not to put the story in the news because they're trying to protect him, then why would they care really? Because you know what? It's about ratings at that point. Sorry. We're not loyal to you anymore and your little political ideology. It's all about ratings now. 617-266-6868, 877-469-4322. And P.S., this story, as far as I know, it wasn't even on the cover of today's Globe. It's not front page news. You can send a text, by the way, 680-680 on your wireless. Hank, welcome. You're on WRKO. Go ahead, sir.
They definitely want to hide all this because Obama's using a fraudulent Social Security number himself. the Social Security number he has now is fraudulent. I'm reading it right now. It was taken out between 1976 and 1977. And Dr. Jerome Corsi, a Harvard University professor, found this stuff. He's within private investigators. The number he has was taken out from a woman in the 1890s, and there was also multiple Social Security numbers that were shown up for Obama in private investigative databases. They don't want this to come out because Obama's an illegal himself. He's using the illegal Social Security number, and he also has a Social Security number under Barry Santoro from Hawaii.
What's
this is why they're hiding it, because they're all illegal.
Well, you know what? See, that's interesting, Hank, and that was another thing I wanted to get to. By the way, we talked to Dr. Jerome Corsi, and so if you want to listen to some, I think we talked about it probably maybe a month and a half ago.
Yeah, and I was on the radio that day talking to Dr. Jerome, and the stuff that I was talking about, we fully agreed on.
Now, and so now this is the question, because I know there are a lot of people, right? The whole birth certificate, I do think this is all tied together. The whole birth certificate issue. By the way, he's got a Connecticut Social Security number. Now, he's never lived there. None of his family has ever lived there. How is that possible? But if you thought the president was not, if you didn't think his birth certificate was relevant, that we've got all sorts of family members living here illegally. I'm just saying, have you even considered, Hank, thanks for the call. Those of you listening, has this even come into your mind again? The whole birth certificate issue debate. Is this something, have you said to yourself, well, wait a minute now. If his aunt is here and his uncle is here, everybody's here illegally. Do you know what I'm saying? How far does it go into his family tree, guys? It's something that I thought about, and I don't think, Brien, you and your conspiracy. No. You know what? Dr. Jerome Corsi, if you pick up his damn book and read some of it, he will. I got to get him back on the air, actually. I do. I got to get him back on. 617-266-6868. Hank, thanks for the call. 877-469-4322. Send me a text, 680-680 on your wireless. Do not text and drive, please. Very, very dangerous. 978 says, how much you want to bet Obama's uncle will never get deported? Vegas casinos won't cover that bet. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree, folks. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. But given what has happened in this state, the burial of Matthew today, the outrage over the death of Matthew at the hands of an illegal, the comments that Governor Deval Patrick made, the ridiculous comments about the death of Matthew and that family and those people, and just so disconnected. Maybe they're going to make an example of him. Maybe they'll make an example of Uncle Omar. What do you? I think it's very probable. I do. 617-266-6868, 877-469-4322. Dave, welcome. You're on WRKO.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I'm concerned about these contractors that are hiring these illegals and know that they have some sort of issues all along. And I don't understand how the governor can protect the illegal worker and at the same time, and I'm not necessarily a union person, but they're taking away roofing jobs from American workers, and at the same time killing people. That's all I have to say. I think more should be done to stop these contractors from hiring them.
Well, you know what, though? Lawmakers fight against that, Dave. Thanks. I was just on the phone with my brother. Something E-Verify. E-Verify is set up. It's a free program. All it does is you check the status, the Social Security number of the people that are coming into your business. Businesses lawmakers don't want that. You know why? Because once again, it outs illegals. It outs them. By the way, Janet Napolitano said, I've sent 400,000 illegals home. That's enough. You know what? I don't know. I think that's enough. I'm not kidding you. They only want to send certain amounts of numbers. They might know where everybody on the heels of 9/11, the 10th anniversary, we could send 600,000 home. 400,000 seems to be. Uncle Omar was living the high life, folks. And my question is, why was this story buried? Have you even thought about Obama's birth certificate? Is that just ridiculous to you? I mean, I'm connecting the dots here, and I'm just saying, hey, all of these family members are living here illegally. Why would it be so improbable? I mean, it's just more evidence on top of more evidence. How much do you need, really? How much evidence do you need? Greg, welcome. You're on WRKO. Greg, go ahead. You have no Greg. All right. Bill, welcome. You're next up on WRKO. Go ahead.
Hi, Greg. Hi, Jennifer. I'm not going to get into a shouting match with you like I did yesterday because it was below me, okay? But I will say this.
Yes.
I guarantee that you and all and more than 9/10 of your listeners are racist. Okay, and they're trying, and you're just trying to beat them up. You're a rabble rouser, and you are, like Phil said yesterday, a race baiter. Okay, and that's all this nonsense is about. Why don't you talk about Menino? How come you haven't mentioned Menino saying with the statement he said about aliens and immigrants?
Because this is
why is it just Patrick, who I don't care about, and President Obama, who I'm not going to let you shame like you're trying to do? Why don't you talk about Menino?
I'm trying to answer your question. So, Bill, once again, you bring up race right away. Now, I want you to stay with me here. I haven't even mentioned race. I haven't talked about race. I'm not. So, once again, you called the show and you mentioned race right away. And then now the reason why I'm talking about this, because I think there's a bigger picture here, and it's the swarm of illegals and the identity theft issue that we've got in this country. And on the heels of 9/11, Bill, I think that we talk about porous borders and who's in our country. I think this is a really relevant issue. It has nothing to do with race.
Jennifer, you're race baiting. That's all this program and all this station does is race bait. You trash President Obama or any person that's a minority. Now you're saying about the aliens and the people that come over here and work for $2 an hour. We should be glad to have them.
Have you ever, Bill? As
a professional driver, I used to pull containers off of the ship there over to South Boston, the Carroll Terminal, and take them out to places outside of Boston and all around, and see nothing but aliens.
Bill, I'm going to give you an opportunity. Now, you say that I'm a racist.
Yes, you are.
Okay, give me one.
And you had no business being in the service.
Give me what? Bill, give me one example of me being a racist.
Please, they had some type of
Bill.
examination.
Okay, Bill, you're screaming again, and you said you wouldn't do that. Now, answer my question. Because
you get me started, Jennifer. You get me going.
Bill, you called me, and you asked me questions. You won't let me answer.
I'd let you call me, too.
I never call you. I don't know who you are. I don't have your number.
I said I would give you my number and let you call me.
Bill,
anytime.
All right, now, let me ask you this. Give me an example of when I have been racist. Go ahead.
Because Jennifer,
Bill, give me an example.
You're racist beyond your belief, or what you think like most. Like President Obama said, a typical white person. Okay, you say the things that humiliate and embarrass people without even thinking about it.
Bill,
I came up in a predominantly white neighborhood. My mother's white. Okay,
so I guess
I came up in a white neighborhood, and they used to use the word nigger like it was.
All right. You know what, folks? Bill, I don't, there's no, it's impossible to have a conversation. Once again, we let Bill call back, and we want Bill to call back, folks. I asked Bill a simple question, and he could not. Bill is a black man. He's half black, and he's half white. And he calls the show and says that I'm race baiting. Well, you heard him, because I happen to be a white woman talking about a black man, have I ever said this black man is an illegal drunk? No. Never. There you go. Thank you very much, folks. You can respond to Bill. See, you know what the problem is, folks? Bill happens to. There are thousands of people like Bill. We should be happy that illegals are here. I'm white, so I'm automatically a racist. Bill. You know what? The sad part is you're the racist. You constantly bring up race, and when you finger point and cry wolf, when there's a real issue that has to do with race, I don't know that people will actually pay attention. Shame on you, Bill. But you can call back anytime, and I thank you for the call. 617-266-6868, 877-469-4322. Isn't it interesting that I never consider the president a black president. I consider the president that's very radical and very Democrat and very dangerous. Bill, you guys, the African-American community, look at him as a black president. I don't. He's the president. Oh, Bill. All right, folks, we are going to take your calls. And I thank Bill for calling. Respond to Bill, please. My name is Jennifer Brien. We'll continue to talk about the president's uncle. And that's what we do, right? Because we're talking about a relevant issue. We're race baiting on Boston's talk station, AM 680 WRKO.
Yango Obama. His attorney says he's the president's uncle. Obama allegedly cut off a Framingham cop in an unmarked cruiser Wednesday night.
Just because he's related to Obama doesn't mean that he should get away with drinking and driving. What if he hits somebody?
Thank you. Oh, my God. Bill, did you hear that? 127 right here at WRKO. Bill, the text messages just went whoosh, thanks to you. 603 says, Bill knows we are not racist. They call in and say that to derail the conversation. Yup. Isn't it a racist comment, by the way, says 774, to call you, Jen, a typical white person. 206 says, Bill is a race baiter beyond belief. Is he ashamed of being half black? Please. You brought up a proper topic. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a 41-year-old African-American Jamaican descent, and I can tell you you're on point, Brien. For Bill to use a certain terminology is disgusting. Well, apparently white people can't talk about black people according to Bill, because if you do, you're racist. But Bill, thanks for calling back. And someone also said, I knew Bill would call back. And they love it. So, all right, let's get back to the phones. Alfie, welcome. You're on WRKO. Go ahead. Oh, Alfie, hang on. Whoop, we got Alfie? Yeah, go ahead, Alfie.
Yes, hello, Jen.
Hi.
Yeah, Jen, the word racist is used to shut down conversation for anybody that disagrees with this new liberal corruption of, flooding the country with illegals, criminals and immigrants.
Yeah, Alfie, thanks. Lay off the Schlitz. It's only 1:30. No, Alfie, you're right, and it's disheartening. It's disheartening that's where they go. I asked for an example. Bill, show me. He accuses me of being a racist because I'm talking about President's uncle today. Give me an example. Couldn't. Automatically went to where it was ugly. Go ahead, James.
Yeah, Jen, why do you keep putting this moron back on the air? All he does is talk about is races.
You know why, James? Because I think that he makes a point better than I could absolutely ever, do myself, articulate. I think that Bill, he called me, the typical white person?
No, he's a typical nignog. He wants to play the race card.
Well, I think, to me, I think it's good, by the way, to hear all sides. And I don't, I have never censored what I do, and I won't do it unless, you use words, the FAA,
well, there
the
should
FCC.
be a time
I'm sorry.
that you have to put people in censors because they want to put their stupidity on the air, and it's time for us to do something by kicking the ball out and kicking Barack out.
Well, I agree. I agree with you. I don't, any governor that says Matthew and calls Matthew the young boy that died in Milford, that person and that family, and then you have the president's uncle. Look, the question I wanted to get to today, how was the uncle of Obama able to live the life he was living? Who protected him? Did you buy the fact that the president said in dreams of my father, I don't know where old Uncle Omar is. We never saw him again. Really, where were you when you say that, Obama? He left for America and we never saw him again. Well, where were you if you weren't in America? I'm just saying. And the whole birth certificate issue. The fact that a lot of, two people of Obama's family have been living here illegally. Does that make anything in your mind just connect the dots with the whole birth certificate issue? Are the birthers really that mental now? I guess that's the other question. Let's go to Michael. Welcome. You're on WRKO.
Hi, Jen. How are you?
Good.
I live in Framingham, and, these kinds of things with Obama's uncle is really unraveling the liberals. I had an experience last night. I'll quickly tell you about it. I was sitting in a Chinese restaurant, and having a Mai Tai waiting for some takeout food, got talking to this guy from Sudbury. And we're talking about politics lightly, and all of a sudden I mentioned this news story. The guy freaked out.
Why?
He just freaked out.
What? How?
He started telling me, he started to attack me personally, saying, you are only saying this because of Obama being black. You're only doing this because you don't like Obama. I said, hey, relax. Hold on a minute. I am telling you a timely news story that I learned of it yesterday on your show. And you're right, the major networks and CNN.com and so on and so forth never picked it up. They have started to as of this morning.
They have no choice. They have no choice.
They have no. In fact, Boston.com is trying to bury it as much as they can. But I don't read print, so I don't know about what's going on with newspapers. But it eventually got to the point where I said, stop talking to me. I'm going to pay my bill and leave. And the bartender, who I know very well, was a little wigged out himself. He came over to me later and he goes, "Wow, what's wrong with that guy?" And the thing is, he turned on a dime. He was so angry that somebody would say something about Obama. And I told him, I said, what about my opinion and my right to have free speech? And all he did was try to shut me down. And he freaked out and left, walked out.
Well, Bill just freaked out. Bill said, and you just had the equivalent. Thanks for the call. The equivalent of your experience, I just had on the radio. I just had it on the radio. Our phone number, 617-266-6868, 877-469-4322. Some of the folks that are surrounding the uncle right now says Mike Rogers, a spokesman for Cleveland immigration attorney Margaret Wong. Wong represented Zatuni. Wong is going to represent Omar. He said, I wouldn't even know how. I had no idea how Omar would get a Social Security number. What a liar. You wouldn't know how? You probably point people, you and Wong, in the direction of whomever. Oh, my God. Wait, where's Joe Wilson? You lie. Chris, can I take one more call? Do I need to take a break? Yeah, all right. Let's get Brenda. Hey, Brenda, welcome. You're on WRKO.
Hi, how are you, Jen?
I'm good, Brenda. What's up?
Listen, this topic has got me. I listened to Howie Carr last night. My blood is boiling. And so is in 95% of societies, okay? First of all, I was in the back of Auntie Zatuni in a store about 4 months. Auntie Zatuni.
Yeah.
All right.
Was she in a wheelchair? Wait a minute. Was she in a wheelchair or was she shuffling along?
No, she walks just fine.
Yeah,
she doesn't walk with any kind of assistance, no cane, no nothing.
Yeah.
She's a very tall woman.
Oh, really?
And always is dressed to the nines. I don't know where it is that she gets her clothes, but anyway, I was behind her in a grocery store, and the computers were shut down, and it wouldn't accept her blue EBT card. Well, she started yelling at the clerk because the clerk had said, "You have got to go to customer service." And she is the nerviest person. And then to find out that her brother's been here for 9 years on our dime, I bet, no less.
Oh, she knew where he was,
surviving on working in a liquor store. Please.
All right, Brenda, check this out, though. You know damn well that the president has talked to Zatuni, even if they don't admit it. So you're telling me that Zatuni does not have any idea where Omar is. Now, if Zatuni knows where Omar is, then the president knows where Omar is.
Listen, I know somebody that lives in the building that she lives in. A black car, a black limo had come to pick her up to take her to the airport. She was going to Virginia or someplace.
Well, you know what?
Like, what's that all about?
The president, Brenda, thanks for the call. You're telling me, in Dreams of My Father, the president says that Omar left Kenya and never to be heard of again? What a lie. That is such a lie. So is that why the press has buried this story? You guys, explain to me. You've been thinking about this. When you heard Howie talk about it Friday and then more details were revealed yesterday, the president's uncle has a Social Security ID number. He owns a house. They own cars. He owned part of a business. You're telling me that the president didn't know where he was. Now, why has the press buried this story? Why? You've been thinking about it. Why? Today, front page of the Herald, Obama uncle living the dream. It is, as far as I know, am I wrong? It is nowhere on the front page. I did not see it unless it's very small. I do have my glasses on. Is it on the front page? I got to find a globe. All right, guys, let's talk about that. And also, is it probable in your mind now when you think, have you been rethinking the birth certificate issue again? And Bill, we're going to talk about this at least till 2. Does that make us all racist? See, you're losing, Bill. You're losing. That's the problem. Obama is not the Messiah everybody thought he would be, and that's what makes you mad. So you take it out on me, a white person. I have nothing to do with it. Nothing. Your guy's failing. His family is failing. Oh, and they're here illegally. 617-266-6868, 877-469-4322. In the world of psychobabble, Bill, that's called displaced aggression. Look it up. Google that. My name is Jennifer Brien. We'll be right back here on Boston's talk station, AM 680 WRKO.
Illegal immigration didn't kill this person. A drunk driver killed this person. And
Remember that? That's, the governor about Matthew, who they, poor family, they buried this morning. But you know what he said when asked about the president's uncle? Interesting. He was killed not by illegal immigration, but by a drunk driver. Well, now, and I'm just asking you if you guys know the answer to this question. Asked about the issue with the president's uncle, Governor Deval Patrick said, "You know my stance. Illegal is illegal. We need comprehensive immigration reform." Okay, then support secure communities. The governor can I call him a liar? If illegal is illegal, then why don't you support the Secure Communities program, sir? Why? How can you say that? How can you possibly... Governor Deval Patrick said, when asked about... I'm saying one more time, the president's uncle, "You know my stance. Illegal is illegal. We need comprehensive immigration reform." Then start reforming. How about embrace secure communities? Please. I don't, guys, we get lied to on a regular basis. How much more can you take? How much more can you take? How much more can you take? And by the way, you know how Napolitano said, by the way, that, well, we're going to send the most serious criminals home? That's a lie, too. Because let's go back and remember what the president wanted to do about a month ago. Humberto Garcia, who had raped and murdered a 16-year-old girl and was on death row, he was put to death for his crimes. The Obama administration came in at the 11th hour and wanted to appeal his death penalty. No. Let's stop the execution because Humberto's rights might have been violated. We're being lied to all the way around. So is the president's uncle going to be deported? Hell no. You know it. Should he be? Absolutely. The governor, yeah. 617-266-6868-877-469-4322. That's like me if I said, I'm getting really fat. I'm getting really unhealthy. I'm fat. And I just keep eating pizza and French fries. I just keep eating ice cream and pizza and I get fatter and fatter. The governor says we need comprehensive. He almost sounds like Nancy Pelosi. We need comprehensive immigration reform, but I don't support secure communities. And meanwhile, you get the bills out in the world saying I'm a racist. I'm telling you, everything is insane. It's upside down. But we can talk about it here at WRKO, and I want to. It is 1:43. Back to the phones. Ed, welcome. You are on WRKO. Go ahead.
Hi, Jen. How you doing?
Good, sir.
First off, I want to thank you for your service.
You're very welcome.
Okay. If Bill says that you're a typical being a racist, then dare I say he's the typical black person pulling out the race card in the respect that anytime you start to lose an argument, which they don't have a leg to stand on when they start to lose the argument, they pull out the race card. So.
Yeah. They always, your phone died. Ed, I'm sorry. I did not hang up on you. Call back if you want. Your phone died, and we'll get you back on the phone. It's true. But Obama supporters are scrambling for anything to point the finger. They're freaking out. They are absolutely freaking out because Obama is failing. And there just is story after story that shows that either he's lied or he is failing or the family are lawbreakers. And yet we are all to blame. Philip, welcome. You're on WRKO.
Hello.
Yes, Philip. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, I am African American. I want to really say that every time when African Americans bring the race card, they are the ones who are racist because this issue of illegal immigration is not about this is black or this is white or this is Latino. It is about the law, and if we cannot discuss about laws which we can enforce, what else can we discuss? And it's really sad because if the president, we choose the president to lead us according to the law, and he pick and choose which laws can be enforced, is really sad. And these people, they can be ashamed. And then actually, if we connect the dots between Obama's illegal families and the status of himself being here, you can find a lot of issues, I'm telling you. And I wish somebody would be courageous enough to look about these issues in his family.
Oh, well, they are. Actually, Philip, they are. And somebody, Jerome Corsi with his folks, I mean, the whole birth certificate issue is not over. Philip, they.
I wish it is not over, because
it's not
I'm telling
over.
you, if somebody will be really, really, up there and look at this issue, Obama himself is in question.
You know what? But Philip, what has happened is that the left has hijacked the issue. They have now. So any of you that think about the birth certificate or the president and is it real, is it not? You are now the nuts. You are the freak show. You're the fringe. And that's not true. And I mean, so then I'm a fringe freak show nut because I think about the birth certificate issue. I think about the president. I think about what it all means, his family being here illegally, a Connecticut Social Security number. You are not the freak show, but they have hijacked the issue and they think they've won. So stay on it. Pay attention. Ask questions. Look it up. Do something. You are not the nuts. You are not. Jim, welcome. You're next up on WRKO.
Hey, Jen, how's it going today?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, Jen, how about the governor? Does it kill you when he says, you know my stance on illegal immigration?
No, we don't.
Excuse me?
I know. Yeah, exactly. I have no idea. What is his stance? Do you have any?
Yeah, we do. Let me see. Your attorney general says it's not illegal to be illegal in Massachusetts. You obviously have no problem with that. You were in favor of giving them driver's license, 2 years ago? What do you mean we know your stance on illegal immigration?
Right. Well, I mean, exactly. When he says illegal is illegal, but then he says, we need reform, but I don't support secure communities, and everything else that he does shows the reverse to be true. I'm just curious, what is your position, Governor, on illegal immigration? Because if you believe in it, something like show us. How about that? Show us how you feel about it. Maybe sending the president's uncle back. How about that?
Yeah. How about taking some action instead of creating a sanctuary state where they come running here and they can get on all the programs and they can get their housing and they can get their welfare. Come on. Oh, yeah, we
Jim,
understand.
why do you think this
You're
story...
in favor of the illegals.
Why was this story buried? That's the thing. Why was this story buried?
I know. Even on the national... we're hearing it here because it's in our own backyard. No one's even talking about it. Even on Fox, no one's even talking about it.
Why is that? Why do you think that is? I'm just curious.
Yeah,
anybody think about it, I'd like to know. Ruth, welcome. You're on WRKO.
Yes, Laura Ingram spoke about it this morning. She's in Washington.
Oh, okay, great.
Yep, number one. And number two is I believe that they will be kept here, the uncle and the aunt, because they know where Obama was born, and if they keep their mouths shut, they will be permitted to stay here. It's simple as that.
Ruth, I have to be honest with you, and I said this yesterday. Thanks for the call. One of the first things I said was Margaret Wong will tell Uncle Omar, keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. One of the first things I would ask if I had known that Uncle Omar was his uncle and was living here, where was Obama born? Where was he born? They do know. They don't. Listen, it's not crazy to keep saying it and ask the question. You can't, you can go on Google, Jen, and you see all kinds of things. These movies and video clips could have been doctored. Why is it that they celebrate Obama in Kenya? That there are so many villagers there that say, Kenya, Kenyan birthplace. We love him. He's our man. Why? Why is it that Michelle Obama was quoted as saying, Obama was from Kenya? Kenyan born. There are all kinds of things out there, yet the birthers are crazy. We have another issue where illegals from Obama's family have been living amongst us, and I'm just curious, in your mind, does that raise the question again about Obama's status? Does with me. And actually, it's never gone away, I have to be honest. And the deportation of Uncle Omar will never take place. Do you think so? And why on earth has this story been buried? Why? 617-266-6868, 877-469-4322. If you want to send a text, I'd love you to do so. 978 says Governor Patrick's a true Dem. Double speak. Oh, yeah, on every issue. You got that right. And 978, another 978 says, Jen, Obama's mother is white, so what is all this stuff about racism? I'm telling you, Obama supporters are going nuts. All right, guys, we're going to continue to take your calls right up until 2, and then I want to talk to you about, you may not think it's an important issue, by the way, Dancing with the Stars and Chaz Bono, but it is. It's, I think, and I want to tell you why I think it's an important issue and I'm concerned about Chaz Bono's appearance. We'll talk about that coming up after 2. Stick around. This is Boston's Talk Station, AM 680, WRKO.